what early experience shaped the captain, entrepreneur, and leader you are today?
Um, so when I first moved down to Florida, I worked,
How long ago was that?
that was 12 years ago, maybe 14 years ago. I was working, basically whatever I could do to put food on the table. And I was working for a Canadian man who started a construction company in Fort Lauderdale. And
A lot of Canadians in Fort Lauderdale.
he did, he was, and he had like his whole network. And he explained to me like his story. He was started like me, like started at the bottom, and then he had like it was a castle to me at the time out west in Weston, and just living well. He had a Lamborghini in the driveway, and in his French accent, he's like, Ryan, the dream is easily obtainable, and that really stuck with me. And I was scraping by, and that's still with me today.
Easily attainable. How's it been 12, 14 years later?
Yeah, I don't know if it's easily obtainable, but it's definitely, I know I'm on a good path, and, every win is a win for my brand and my businesses, and, I like it.
So at what point, I don't know if it was before you got to Florida in that point or sometime after, but what point did you realize that this wasn't just a passion, but a calling, a vocation?
Um, I think the more I immersed myself into the industry of yachting, I just like found what I like to do, who I like to work for. Had great owners, great yacht owners that I worked for, and it really just like led to the next step in my journey, and it worked out. It's working out very nicely.
So where was that next step?
So I started on a different classic yacht. They flew me up to the Hamptons for the summer. I worked for a private classic yacht there on an old Trumpy, and did like sunset cruises for the owner on that. He also owned a hotel on Long Island in the Hamptons, and that was like my first classic yacht experience. And we would go into different marinas, and people would just like be attracted to this boat, and it was cool to just be a part of that and extend the life.
How do you remember how big that boat was and how many people generally fit on it?
Yeah, so that was a 72-foot yacht made in 1967 for one of the first, James L. Knight was the name of the original owner for the Miami Herald.
Yeah.
And yeah, just like the history around that. And we had about 12 people on board on certain nights, if people from the hotel wanted to go cruising, and they were just also blown away by the nostalgia and soul of the boat.
That's interesting. So Ryan, you also, what do classic boats offer that modern yachts do not? I mean, you like the yachts, you just talk so nicely about them, but it also seems you're very passionate about these old modern boats.
Yeah, I see them as like an added challenge, like the varnish and bright work, to preserve that and just to keep that looking good, and just yeah, it's just an added challenge to an already challenging environment, and it's just a different level of seamanship, if you will.
That's awesome. And why is preserving maritime craftsmanship important to you and to the industry in general?
Yeah, so I see myself as like a steward of these wooden boats. I think at 88 years old, as Amigo is, like, I'm a steward in her chapter, and my job is I see my job is to make her better than where I found her, and just keep her life going on a good direction.